No! Such a lie! Hello everybody! It's your boy David, aka Davlorito, AAA. If you're new to my channel, hey, my name is David. I'm a Filipino from Germany who studied in Seoul, South Korea. Today is the first part of this new series on my channel. This series is called ID, you know, like the identification card, but it stands for I'm Davlorito, or I'm David. And everything revolving around identity. I'm sorry I haven't spoken to the camera like this in a while, so please forgive me if I cannot speak properly. So in today's episode, in today's video, I am going to check out my DNA. I took a DNA test at Ancestry DNA about a year ago. I got the results maybe in October, I think, of 2019, and there was not a lot to show. That's why I didn't film this video. I attempted filming the video 2 different times, thinking there would be more to show. I feel like they're just guessing. Okay, you know what? Excuse me. Wait.
Let's just say these are educated guesses.
It's not that revolutionary. I was not really blown away. When I got the test, this is what it said.
You are 100% Asian. And weird.
And that is not what I wanted to hear, because I am obviously Asian.
Isn't it surprise? Isn't it?
This test works is you have to spit into this tube, send it back to them. It takes a while, then they'll give back a result to you. You'll get an email and then you'll see the components of your DNA. You basically get 50-50. So let's say this is your father, this is your mother, and then you get the DNA, you get half from your mom, half from your dad, and then you become one whole new identity. Meaning, let's say for example, your father is half Japanese, half Korean, and your mother is half Filipina, half Indonesian, and then you get 50-50, right? And then it becomes you. And in this test, it could, for example, okay, only an example, show, because you only get 50-50, it could show that you only got the Korean part of your dad and the Indonesian of your mom's. So then your DNA would be half Korean, half Indonesian. Does that make sense? Not everything that your parents have will automatically show in your DNA, but that's just like a very bad example. So now let's get into the DNA test itself. Based on this test, I am 77% Filipino and 23% Chinese. Again, this data bank is not 100% accurate. It just based it on the people who took a test, and they see the, they look for similarities in the DNA component. Now, how did this come about? Both of my parents are Filipinos, so I consider myself as a full Filipino DNA-wise. But the Philippines was under colonialism. Yeah, the Philippines has always been under another power, so there have been many influences from the Arabs, Chinese, Spanish, Japanese, American. So the Philippines is already very mixed. But still, I consider myself a full Filipino because both my parents are Filipino, grew up in the Philippines, had me, and then we moved to Germany. So that's your background information on me. So anyway, let's go to their updated version. They are now listing the counterparts of the Philippines that I'm from, which I was waiting for and I hope for, come from Central and South Luzon. If you don't know the landscape of the Philippines, we are not from the mainland, we are islands. So there are 3 main islands. So that is Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. My ancestors are from Luzon, from the north.
The king in the north!
That's where the capital is. And it says here that I might have had or still have relatives, ancestors. They were from Tarlac, Pampanga, Ost, Bataan, and South Nueva Ecija. And then there's another region that's marked Bulacan, Manila, Rizal, and Laguna. I found out I have great-grandparents who came from Madrid. So Madrileños, okay? They were Spanish people. And they went to the Philippines, settled there, and started a family. So I'm supposed to have Spanish blood. But it didn't show in the test. And the reason why I took the test at Ancestry DNA is because I found the details of that great-grandfather of mine on Ancestry. Without taking the test, you know, you can type in your names and stuff, and then it will show possible relatives. And he came up with the same exact birthday and death, even the occupation, everything was right. So I was like, so maybe this test will help me out because someone in my lineage is already registered on the platform, my Spanish side, but it didn't show. Somewhere deep in my heart, I feel like I'm a Madrileño, and I remember the first time I went to Madrid, I felt something very homey, the vibe was very I'm at home. So yeah, shout out to all of my peeps from Madrid. So as you can imagine, I was not very satisfied and happy with the results that I got. So you get a, what's it called? You get the results, right? You get the file. So I took that file and I uploaded it to other sites to get more results. On DNA.LAND, I showed this to my cousin actually, so let me blend that in. The same test that I uploaded on Ancestry DNA that said I am 77% Filipino, this test doesn't even show Filipino.
What?
Hala. So it says here, I am 96% East Asian.
Shocker.
Before we look at the Asian part, okay, because it breaks it down even further. Let's look at the other counterparts. I am 1.7% ambiguous, then 1.3 native
Oceanian?
Oceanian. That doesn't sound right. I'm sorry guys, I'm actually a native German and Filipino speaker, hindi po ako English here. 1.2% Dravidian. Let's go back to the East Asian part. They break down the East Asian into two categories. Southeast is 67% and East Asian is 29%. So as you can see, Southeast Asian is bigger. Southeast Asian 44% and Taiwanese 23%. So yung 23, diba? So I can show you guys. So this is the China part on the original results. So I'm not from the far part, so it's more here, as you can see, South China and also Taiwan. I'm researching our family tree for a few years now, and the furthest that I went to was 1890-ish.
Wow.
And we had a Chinese, I always say Chinese pirate, but he was a Chinese seaman.
Wait.
Or businessman. No, he's the father of Lola, our great-great-grandmother, basically.
Yeah, because there's a famous Chinese pirate.
I don't know if he's famous, but basta he's in our family. Anyway, coming back to DNA.LAND, now let's go back to the
29%. Please be good. Or no?
Wait lang.
Don't tell me you have Japan or Korean. There's no Korean. I won't believe it if it says Korean. No! Such a lie!
I don't lie! It's not a big percentage. It's just 7.8.
You're 7.8% Japanese/Korean.
Mm-hmm. I accept
tell
it.
the difference. Well, yeah, okay, that's great.
Central Chinese is 21%.
21%.
From the East Asian part. So now let's go to the Chinese part. Remember, I have 23% Chinese DNA in me based on Ancestry. I found a Chinese site. I do not speak Chinese. I do not read it, but you know, Google Translate on this site called WeGene. And I have no idea about China, but it says here that my DNA results 81.23% Chinese, 7.9 Northeast Asian, Japanese. Remember DNA.LAND, it says 7.8 of the Japanese or Korean. This one now shows 7.9% is Japanese. But this is what I find odd, that I only have 8% 8% Southeast Asia DNA within me. Then when you look at the breakdown, it just says here Thai, Vietnamese, Cambodian, and other. I'm thinking, or I am assuming that WeGene is really for Chinese, and Filipinos probably never take their test with them or do not upload. That's why they're also not mentioned on their site. But still, it's very interesting. It says that my Chinese component is 52% Southern Han and 23.7 Mountain Group. What is Mountain Group? Including Ami and Antayal. 3% Dai and so on. So if for all of my Chinese viewers and my Chinese friends, if you know more about the differences, Southern Han, Ami, Atayal, Dai people, and Ulighur, please let me know in the comments down below. And to my friends, you can message me, talk to me about it. That's very interesting. One last one, I uploaded it also on TrueAncestry. I just wanted to see where my ancient ancestors might have come from. I uploaded my test results on more sites, but Yeah, so DNA wise, I am a 77% Filipino, 23% Chinese, and I still believe I'm 100% Filipino with all the mixtures in between. If you want to take the test as an Asian, as a Filipino, 23andMe, that one breaks it down better for us Asians. I'm not trying to bash Ancestry DNA. If you are European or of European descent, I believe Ancestry DNA is very good for you. But as an Asian, I would go with 23andMe based on the results of others. I have not tested it. I still want to, but I don't have the money for that. So if you want to sponsor me, go right ahead. I'm very open to that. I am very interested to know what your DNA components are. If you took one, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. So this is ID part 1, DNA test. I'm a Filipino with Chinese mix, but I'm a Filipino. Okay. Okay na? Okay, I'm a Filipino. That's it. That's all you need to know in this video. I'm a Filipino. So don't forget to live life alive. And other than that, I wish you all a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. See you soon. Adios. Bye.